Hello, my friends. What's going on, guys? It is... Let me turn this down. This is the first time I've ever had this kind of, like, ambient, fun, spacey music on something. And the whole reason I'm using this kind of stuff is because the other night I was thinking of doing a live stream at, like, midnight, right? My wife was asleep, my daughter was asleep, and I thought it would be fun to, like, start a live stream and have this kind of, like, spacey ambient music, just kind of atmospheric stuff going on in the background, and I would like make a very basic overlay, a stream overlay, and just call it like the late night lounge or something, you know, and just have like a looped star field going, just kind of this trippy music, and just kind of hang out for an hour or so in the middle of the night. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Psychotic and Luke Fredericks, good to see you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. So for those of you who have no idea what the hell this is, once a month I do a Patreon and sponsor YouTube live stream chat kind of deal. And all these questions come from both Patreon, the Patreon page, as well as the Discord server. And yeah, basically run through this time we have about 30 questions. And I just kind of run through them, hang out for about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, we'll see. Depending on how long it takes to go through the questions. I see a lot of these questions are like 4 paragraphs long, and I'm curious what they say. So, but yeah. So, what's new with me? Thanks for asking. Nobody fucking asked. Not much, man. Just been hanging out with my wife and my baby daughter. She's been super fussy the past couple days. So, you know, you kind of have to like keep your wits and keep your cool. But, what's up, Palp? Other than that, yeah, just continuously writing in my book. I've been doing that a lot the past week. What's up, Tom? And I'm hoping to get the book finalized within the next couple months. I know I've been saying that for like 2 years now, but in the past week, I have written more in this book than I have in the past year. So I'm just like kicking it into gear, trying to get it done. Really enjoying writing about, you know, random stuff. I got a chapter on the Navy, I got a chapter on clickbait and social media, I got a chapter on YouTube, I got a chapter on my origin story. It's so exciting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that out. But yeah, everybody, let me know if the music is too loud, or if it's not loud enough, I'll turn it up. But welcome to the stream, one and all. Thank you so much for tuning in. These streams are usually a little, you know, a little more of a laid-back hangout than my video game kill live streams. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Let's get to the questions. The first question comes from the British Nerd. Hey, Greedo, I'm interested to know how you feel when you look back at your time in the Navy, and has it shaped who you are now and how? Yeah, I haven't seen any of these questions yet. I usually just download them all. Yeah. But yes, British Nerd. Looking back, I owe a lot to my experience in the Navy. The whole reason I enlisted, man, it's kind of funny that you mentioned this. I wrote 15 pages last night about my experience in the Navy and how it shaped me into the person I am right now. But yeah, I owe a lot to the Navy. I kind of have like a restless itch now. I feel like I can't sit still. I always have to be doing something. But I think overall it's kind of made me a far less lazy person than I used to be before the Navy. It kind of taught me a little bit of it gave me my work ethic, made me a way more mature person than I was before the Navy. Before the Navy, I was in college, and I dropped out of 2 colleges, and then I just said, fuck it, I need some structure. I need to be in something that I can't leave, and that's basically why I enlisted, So yeah, looking back at my experience, the 4 years that I was in the service, I owe a lot to that. It's one of the most prideful things in my entire life. Yeah, no, I'm proud of the person that it's molded me into, I've always said, like, I was 21 when I enlisted. If you're a kid and you don't really know what the hell you want to do with your life, and you've been just fucking off, and your studies are going down the shitter, and you don't know what you want to do, and, military's not a bad option. I spent 4 years in, and then now I'm out, and they pay for my college. I had the best experience, like, just a life experience I could possibly ask for on deployment and in the service. And, yeah, British Nerd. yeah, I wrote a lot about it in my book, so I'm looking forward to getting that out. I go into much greater detail about certain elements, you know. But yeah, what's up, Makatsu? Good to see you, man. The entirety of the clickbait dance lyrics better be in the clickbait chapter. I have not done that, but I certainly will add them now. Maybe I'll add a few more verses, huh? Let me pull up these questions on my other monitor so I can make it a little bigger. But yeah, cool question, British Nerd. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, funny that you mention it. The whole Navy chapter is, yeah, just kind of exactly about what you asked. Alright, got these questions on the other monitor. Hope all you guys are having a fantastic day. God damn it, why did that happen? I don't get it. I zoom in, and then as soon as I, like, exit it, it zooms way back out. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Alright, the next question comes from Brendan McCallion. Hello, Greedo. I'm late to the party, but congratulations on your new baby and wishing you and your wife all the best. I'm just wondering, have you ever thought about writing your own short Star Wars fan film? If you could, what setting or themes would you like to explore? P.S. If you need a director, hit me up, as I just majored in direction from my film. Oh, nice. In recent weeks. Best wishes from your #1 fan from Ireland, Brennan. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the kind words, man. I really appreciate that. I actually, before, when was this? It was around the time of The Force Awakens. I started writing a Star Wars fan film, and I wanted to kind of employ some of my friends that had Stormtrooper armor, and the basic gist of... Hold on. What the fuck am I hearing? Hold on, guys. What in the fuck am I hearing? What in the hell? Hold on, guys. I hear some, like, something dropping through the... What in the hell is going on? It's weird. Huh. Alright. Okay. It just sounded like there was, like, sand dripping in the wall. Or I wonder if there's a creature in the wall. Weird, man. Alright, anyway, where was I? Yeah, back in like 2015, I started writing a Star Wars fan film, and it's kind of funny. The basic gist of the story was that stormtroopers are on Endor, and their communication goes down, and they look up, and the Death Star the second Death Star explodes over their head. That was the basic gist of my fan film. I storyboarded out a little bit of it. I wrote a little bit of a script, not too much, maybe like 10 pages or so, and yeah, so they would find that, and they would have to find, basically their first mission was to go find a downed TIE pilot on Endor, and as they're going to search for the TIE pilot, the Death Star explodes over their head. And it's kind of funny because that is basically the plot of Battlefront 2, right? The single-player campaign. When I first played it, I was like, what? It's just crazy. It's crazy. I had to look back at my tweets to see if I ever said anything about the fan film that I was making. I had, you know, I wish I could go back to all my live streams and see if I mentioned it ever in a live stream, but I was like, what? This is basically exactly what I wrote down in my sketchbook. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy when I don't know, crazy. But yeah, Brendan, I appreciate that. And you know, if I ever do another one, I'll keep you in mind for a director. All right. I don't have any plans whatsoever right now to make a Star Wars fan film. It just seems like so much work, And if I was gonna make a fan film, I probably wouldn't make a Star Wars fan film. I would probably make my own movie. You know, that's nothing to do with Star Wars. I'd probably want to do my own unique script. You know what I mean? More so than kind of make something based off of what someone else has made. Does that make sense? What's up, Sully Hogs? Good to see you, man. Bingo bongo. Alright, next question comes from Jason96. Jason... Dude. I'm gonna have to tell people to keep their questions and keep them short. All right. Wow, it won't even fit on the screen. I'll have to scroll up. All right, ready? Ready, guys? Ready, guys? This question comes from Jason96, J450N96. Hey, HG, I watched Solo at midnight premiere here in the UK. Thought it was a solid 7 out of 10, a good movie that was enjoyable, but with a fair few faults. Mainly, for me, anyway... Oh, one sec.
Saw your written canceled SWTOR. Really enjoy taking a look back. Is there a genre or style of game you'd like to see in the future? Keep up the good work, man, and I hope to maybe see ya on SWTOR sometime soon.
Luke Fredericks, MTFBWY. Thank you so much, Luke, for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. I guess if I get a super chat in the stream, I'll just cut over to the super chat because it's live, and I don't want them to, you know, you guys that are watching it live to be waiting. Is the music too loud? Is it too loud for you guys? Just let me know. But Luke Fredericks, thank you so much for the super chat. The Robot Reddit, and I'm gonna read it too. Saw your video on canceled Star Wars games and really enjoyed taking a look back. Is there a genre or style of game you'd like to see in the future? Keep up the good work, man. And I hope maybe see you on Star Wars: The Old Republic sometime soon. May the Force be with you. Always. Yes, if I was to pick one type of game to be made right now in the Star Wars universe, with the Star Wars universe in mind, it would be an Oblivion or Fallout style Star Wars game. Kind of an open world thing, and I know open world are kind of a dime a dozen now. I'm kind of sick of them as well, but we've never really had anything like that in the Star Wars universe. I guess Knights of the Old Republic is the closest in Star Wars: The Old Republic, you know, but I want a single player Oblivion style, just do whatever the hell you want Star Wars game. That to me is pretty much my number one wanted type of Star Wars game. The other thing that I've really been itching for a very long time is a Star Wars RTS. RTS is one of my favorite genres. Company of Heroes is probably my all-time favorite RTS, and I would love an RTS that is similar to Company of Heroes in the strategy realm, like, because that is very, you don't just throw units like StarCraft. You don't just make a shitload of units and throw them at the enemy. In Company of Heroes, you make your units, but then you have to position them behind cover. You have to, like, face them the right direction. You can't let your tanks be open from the back. It's a very strategic RTS game, more so than most, and I would love a Star Wars game like that. Other than that, you know, I'm always open for really anything, but those two are really the first things that come to mind, the two that I've been really craving lately. But yeah, something like Men of War. Let me see. Is that kind of like that Bridge Too Far series, Men of War? Oh, no. Assault. You know, I don't know if I've ever heard of this. Assault Squad 2, Men of War Origin, Soldiers, Heroes of War. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever played this, man. I don't know if I've ever even heard of this. But this, yeah, it looks like something right up my alley. Yeah, that's the thing with, like, RTS games. I love them, but when they start kind of devolving into the StarCraft realm where... And devolving is the wrong word, but when they start kind of branching off into... just rush, make a shitload of units and pour them on the enemy like water. And it's just not fun to me, you know. It's like it's a race more so than a strategy game. But yeah, a game like Company of Heroes, or it looks like this Men of War Assault Squad kind of game, similar to that, you know. But Luke, I appreciate the channel support, and if I do next time I don't know if you saw my Discord message, but next time I do a live stream where I play a game, I'm gonna play Star Wars: The Old Republic. All right. It's gonna happen. It's been like a month. I don't know if I've played it since my daughter was born, man. But yeah, definitely gonna happen. But Luke, I appreciate it, man, and it's good to see you. All right. Let's see. All right, Jason. Back to J450N96's question. He said he enjoyed Solo 7 out of 10. Fair few faults, mainly for me anyway. The sheer amount of tick listing of references that was going on. Warning, my question does have spoilers for Solo, just for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, or you don't want to cover it in the Q&A yet. Alright guys, you heard the warning. If you have not seen Solo, you have been warned. Anyways, here's a train of thought I had about Solo. I think Solo would have worked better as a TV miniseries, spreading it out over multiple hours, and have it actually go like a crime series. I like that idea. Where Han and Chewie join the crew much the same way, but they're doing different, smaller jobs. They plan shit, have setbacks, and big crime boss. And this big crime boss. Boss is teased and layered throughout the show, as they're gaining his trust by doing these jobs for him, making him out as someone who shouldn't be crossed. Thread him more gently until Beckett finally meets him properly, and he's given the coaxium job as a last heist. Say halfway through the series and goes wrong, which point the crew... eventually Han and Chewie take the larger role, Kira's reintroduced as Lando, and the Kessel job is done, etc. And finally, both Beckett, this guy that Han and the viewers have come to trust and lead them, and Kira, Han's love interest with whom he's finally just started to reconnect with, both betray him at the end of the series. Do I need to scroll up again? You get to uplifting scene of Han winning the Falcon and blasting off with Chewie, juxtaposed with the juxtaposed Jason with the final scene of the series, where Maul reintroduced as he summons Kira back to Dathomir, teasing more to come. I just feel like spreading the story out and playing it as more of a tension builder would have much more potential, and knowing the creation of a live-action Star Wars series, it feels like somewhat of a missed opportunity to me. What are your thoughts on this? Sorry about the wall of text. I felt like removing too much would lack detail, maybe. Cheers for all the great content, and hope you're doing great with the kid. Well, I appreciate that, Jason. No, I dig that idea. I don't know if... maybe not a TV miniseries, maybe a Solo trilogy would have been the way to go. The thing is, like, to me, Han Solo, it doesn't require that much depth. You know, it's kind of like Indiana Jones in a way. He's an archetype of a character. He's not. His backstory isn't what makes him interesting. It's just his attitude is what makes him interesting. He's the brash, cocky son of a bitch with a heart of gold. And to have like a full mini series, as much as I would love it, as much as I would watch the shit out of it and probably enjoy it immensely, it doesn't interest me that much. I think a one and done movie was probably the way to go. I think the more you explore Han Solo's backstory, the less interesting he becomes, in a weird way, to me at least. I don't know what it's kind of like the same thing with Boba Fett, right? The more I know about Boba Fett's backstory, the less interesting he becomes to me. It's this like weird paradoxical way of looking at it. I don't know why, but Boba Fett's super interesting to me because he's, you know, the dark guy in the corner. He's in the shadow. He's the man with no name. He's like a Clint Eastwood type character. He's just meant there to be mysterious, and now, you know, he's a clone and he's a little kid. And he's gonna get his own movie. I don't know. But Jason, I like the idea. I don't know. I kind of appreciate just the one and done Solo thing. If they're gonna continue these anthology films with characters that we already know, make it painless and just make a boom, one and done, flash in the pan. Maul, boom, flash in the pan. Boba Fett, boom, flash in the pan. Obi-Wan, boom, flash in the pan. I'm all for new stuff, and to have these characters that we already know have multiple films or multiple TV shows and stuff like that doesn't necessarily interest me all that much. But I hope I answered your question there, Jason. I appreciate the support, and yeah, next time, next time I might have to put a little thing in there saying make it short. But I appreciate the passion, man. Is he getting his own movie? Oh, Fett? Wasn't that Palp? The thing is, that hasn't officially been announced, has it? I thought that was just a Hollywood Reporter thing. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I haven't really been paying attention to much shit lately. as you guys know. Having characters with less backstory adds more mystery to their character. Luke Fredericks. I agree, you know. Well, obviously it depends on the character, right? But somebody like Han Solo and somebody like Boba Fett, it's not really that required. I would rather have new characters. Yeah. And the thing is, you can always go back in time, right? Always go back in time over and over again. Well, what happened before this? What happened before that? What was Han Solo doing before he was with Kira? What was Han Solo doing before that? I don't know. The next question comes from Lord, Vader Meme. What's up, Vader Meme? I need to make you a mod in here. Hey there, Greedo. Been missing you on the Discord, as have I been missing you guys. Anyways, would it be possible for you to measure the circumference of your ankles? Asking for a fuck off. I have a feeling there's gonna be some weird shit in this chat. Oh, god damn it. The next question comes from Ryan Harp. Hey Greedo, by the time you're reading this, I'm on a cruise and currently in Havana, Cuba. Nice. Pretty sweet, huh? Absolutely. I hope to tweet you a picture of the city when I come to, come home to Tampa. Anyway, speaking of ships and exotic places, my question is this. If you could take a cruise anywhere, whether in real life or in Star Wars or both, where would you go? Hope everyone is doing well. I've been enjoying your most recent tweets, including your time travel entries. Sleep deprivation. Gotta love it. See you on the battlefront, and may the force be with you. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. Enjoy. Dude, that sounds like an absolute blast. I was actually talking to my brother-in-law a couple days ago, Ryan, and he was saying something about Royal Caribbean is now doing cruises to Havana. I would absolutely love to do that, especially before, you know, you got to go down there before it turns into a goddamn Holiday Inn Express and there's a McDonald's and a Starbucks on every corner. Hopefully it doesn't turn into that. Hopefully it has some semblance of, keeps its culture, you know. But, dude, that sounds awesome. I would love to do that. I was actually in Cuba in 2010. Gitmo. If I could pick anywhere, though, I would love to do one of those Viking river cruises through, like, where do they go? Where do they... Actually, you know what? If I could pick one cruise, Ryan, to go on, it would be one of those National Geographic cruises. Let me look up exactly what they're called. They're called, like, Geographic Cruises. Expedition cruises. National Geographic does these expedition cruises. They're expensive as shit, but I think they would be incredibly worth it. They do like photography cruises too. But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. National Geographic expeditions. You can go to like the Galapagos and Peru, Hawaii, exploring Russia's Far East Wrangel Islands, across the Bering Sea wilderness for 13 days, a remarkable journey to Alaska, British Columbia, and Haiti Gui, 15 days for 10 grand, Antarctic, South Georgia, and the Falklands. I mean, like, Alaska's Inside Passage for $6,000, 8 days cruise. This is what I would want to do. Best of Patagonia, I mean, you can look it up. I don't have to, yeah. But there's like 7-day cruises, 8-day cruises, 16-day cruises, month-long cruises, activity levels, service level. So yeah, here's a 24-day one. That's, I guess, just an epic cruise through some glaciers for 24 days for $25,000. This is what I would want to do if I went on a cruise. I don't know where I would want to go, but I would want to do this because I'm sure you would learn a lot, and it would just be absolutely incredible. But yeah. I appreciate that question, Ryan, and I hope you're having a good one down in Cuba. I have a buddy and his wife. They, like, every time I feel like I talk to them, they're in a new place. They just got back from South Africa. Last time I talked to them, they were in Cuba, like, as soon as it became, you know, flights were available from the United States. Awesome stuff. But enjoy it, Ryan. The next question comes from Tim Elliott. Do you ever intend on going to or bringing the little one to Star Wars Land when it opens. Let me pull this up on my other monitor. There we go. Yes. Not for a long time. Not until she's probably like... God, that's tough, Tim. Like, she's too young. I mean, she's... You know, I would never take... She's 7 weeks old. Today. No, wait, what is today? She's 7 weeks old today. Yeah, she's 7 weeks old today. Crazy. I'd probably wait until she's like 5 or 6, until she can actually like maybe not appreciate, but she can interact and maybe not be crazy. You know, she can act like a decent human being. I'm probably gonna wait for a long while, years. I've said this before, Tim, but like I went to the Harry Potter world down in Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, one of the two. And it was like within the first month or so, maybe first couple weeks that it was open, and it was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And as much as I love Star Wars, if I have to fight through crowds and not really enjoy it as much as I would if it was, you know, a couple years old and the hype had died down, then I'll wait. I'll just wait. But yeah, eventually I will, Tim. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, I have like zero desire to go down there when it first opens and make like a vlog. That sounds like the most miserable experience ever. Walking, unless the vlog or whatever, is that the correct term? Vlog, I guess. Unless the vlog was like making fun of the whole situation and I was just frustrated throughout the whole thing, like 4 or 5 hours for the fucking Millennium Falcon, and then it's just me bitching for like 10 minutes in this video. That's the only way that I would want to do it. But yeah, old enough to enjoy it. Absolutely. Absolutely psychotic. Absolutely. All right, the next question comes from Clayton Bowler. Spoiler warning for Solo. So heads up, guys. Now I personally rolled my eyes out of my sockets when I saw Maul on screen, especially when he turned on his lightsaber to look cool. Yeah. But I seem to be in the minority when it comes to the cameo. However, I am interested in the theory about over the next couple of Star Wars Solo story movies that... Wait. I am interested in the theory about over the next couple of Star Wars Solo story movies that it will have an overarching plot with different characters in the spotlight. However, if this is true, then Star Wars is just taking that next step to being more like Marvel movies. What are your thoughts on this? I don't know. I don't think it's true. Well, at least I don't know if it is or not. About Solo having more than one movie. Oh, one sec.
Don't you love the stormtroopers in Disney World?
What's up, Sully Hogs? One sec, man. I'm gonna, since I already read Clayton's question, I'm gonna knock that out first. Yeah, Clayton, I don't know. I don't think it's true that there's gonna be multiple Solo movies. I think they just signed Alden Ehrenreich for multiple films because that's just kind of a normal thing that they do as a just in case, right? You know what, the community, I have to say this, like, there's assholes on both sides, right? People that are just kicking and screaming and just calling people names and calling for boycotts and wanting people fired because, they didn't like a movie. And then there's assholes who don't understand that there's valid criticism, right? There's assholes on both sides. I don't really necessarily want or need a Han Solo movie. I don't need more Han Solo movies. And people go, oh, fuck you, you don't need one, nobody needs it. Well, okay, it's just a figure of fucking speech, alright? God. Everybody is on, like, pins and needles looking for something to be pissed off about in this community. It's insane. On both sides. On both sides. But yeah, I don't really necessarily need more Solo movies. He's a fun character, being the Han Solo that we know. And like you said, doing more of that kind of stuff would absolutely feel like a Marvel movie. Kind of a formulaic vision of the future of Star Wars movies, right? That being said, I think it would be kind of neat to see Maul. See, I'm so torn, man. I am so torn. I'm so torn. See, now that I did see Maul, I obviously I rolled my eyes. It was just kind of like, really? What? I mean, I get why he's there. I get it. In the timeline, I get it. But, okay. All right. It just threw me out. It just threw me off. And like you said, you're in the minority. I'm in the minority, right? I didn't need it. It felt super silly to me. It felt like the Ponda Baba cameo in Rogue One. Even though it made more sense than that, it just that's what it felt like to me. Like, really? Come on. Anyway, Clayton, I went off topic, but I appreciate the channel support, man. And I would rather the franchise focus on new characters, new stuff like that, you know. 6 foot. Palp says, loving the next question. Oh shit, here we go. Here we go. Sullyhawks, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. I know these live streams are a little different than normal, and you know what's awesome? We have a lot of normally we don't have this much activity during these supporter sponsored Q&As, but I'm happy to see a lot of people in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sullyhogs, don't you love the Stormtroopers in Disney World? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen them since I've been to Disney World down there. You know, I don't know. See, me and my wife went to Disney World 3 months before my daughter was born. We're just kind of hanging out. And I don't remember seeing any Stormtroopers, man. We went to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot, and I don't think I saw any Stormtroopers. I have seen Stormtroopers when I was doing like these Star Wars weekend events in the 501st. The 501st armor looks way better than the Disney World Stormtrooper armor. Oh, one sec. Hey, Vincent Curtis, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. Give me one sec. I like my armor and my buddy's armors and the 501st and stuff like that. They look more screen accurate than the Stormtroopers at Disney World. They do, because the film versions of the Stormtrooper armor, they have defects. They're wonky looking. They're not symmetrical. The Disney Stormtroopers are very, very symmetrical. They're basically made to be danced in, right? Their Stormtrooper armor, they look like Stormtrooper armor, but it's more important that they can move and dance in those costumes. So, yeah. I've seen them, but it's been a very long time, and I've seen more clips of them than I have, like, in person. Oh, they patrol Hollywood Studios? Okay, Sully. So yeah, we didn't go to Hollywood Studios for that trip, but maybe next time. Maybe next time. And Vincent Curtis, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. Do you agree with everyone attacking Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson? No. I mean, obviously there's valid criticism, right? If you didn't like a movie, that's fine. Like there's if you didn't like a movie, that's fine, right? If you think things are being misdirected, whatever, that's fine too. But to think there's some big fucking Alex Jones conspiracy going on in Star Wars, to think that there's just like this, I don't know, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's like, obviously there's valid criticism. Everything has valid criticism, right? Everything. If somebody can't find any valid criticism in something, I don't know, maybe you're a little too devoted to that something. You know what I mean? But no, it's kind of gross, like, there's a very loud subset of the internet that is angry to be angry, and I'm all for outrage and everything, as long as the outrage is measured, and you're also outraged when the same things happened in the past that are happening now. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like when people are pissed off about certain things that are happening now, or certain things that, like people associated with the franchise or production say on their own private accounts, but then people were just as vocal in the past. The only difference is that there's no Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, if Twitter existed in the past, you don't think Natalie Portman and people would be fucking talking politics on there? Everybody's talking politics now on Twitter. You don't think people in the past were? They have. You can find George Lucas quotes about his political views. You don't think if his Twitter was around in 1977 or 1999, you don't think people would be boycotting that shit because of George Lucas's fucking blah. It's kind of like Vincent. It's kind of like turned me off to going down YouTube rabbit holes anymore. I used to like really enjoy going down Star Wars YouTube rabbit holes, and I used to really enjoy criticism, valid criticism. I love watching reviews about The Last Jedi where people didn't like it. I really enjoyed like Jeremy John's review of Solo and Chris Stuckman's review of Solo because they really didn't like it whatsoever. I love the Red Letter Media review of The Last Jedi. They couldn't stand it. Valid criticism. But when people interject their own views into someone else's views and misconstrue what people are saying and pull things out of context outside of the universe on their personal accounts in their own personal time, it's fucking weird, man. People are all for like freedom of expression. You know what I mean? Unless you say something that I disagree with. Time to take a sip of water. Vincent, I appreciate that channel support. I don't really know where that question went in my brain, but it ping-ponged all over the place. What's up, Mothmeta? Good to see you, man. The next question comes from 6 Foot Piss Radius, and I'm sure it's a gem. Hi, Greedo. Thanks for taking the time. What are your thoughts on guinea pigs? Oh, Jesus Christ. In my opinion, the actions of these creatures... Am I really going to read this? Alright. What are your thoughts on guinea pigs? In my opinion, the actions of these creatures represent the true and primal instincts of all mammals. Just like humans, they eat, sleep, shit, and communicate. Oh, what an incredible discovery. Oftentimes, they do many of the same... Humans, they eat shit. Everything eats shit, communicates. For example, humans such as yourself communicate with fellow humans and fans while on the toilet. Guinea pigs do the same, but on a more primitive level. Similarly, guinea pigs also literally shit where they eat, even eat shit. This would be the case for humans. Except we have toilets and social norms. Bottom line, I think they are adorable and fascinating creatures, and I recommend them as a pet for when the daughter becomes old enough. Maybe even make a separate YouTube channel for them called Hello Gibbler or something. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright. Do guinea pigs really have an option of not eating where they shit? I mean, really. Most of them are in cages, right? I mean, if an alien looked down at your home 6 foot, would they say that human being eats where he shits? I mean, the kitchen is 20 feet away from the toilet where he shits. He eats where he shits. I don't know. Alright, 6 foot. Goddamn. You goddamn. We need to play some PUBG soon. That goes out to everybody that I play PUBG with. It's been too long, man. I'm craving it. If you guys haven't seen, I've been playing, or I played the playtest for a game called Postscriptum. And it's a World War II game, super realistic, frustrating, but incredibly fun. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. The next question comes from Venom Jubear, and I'm sure it'll be a gem too. Oh, Venom, you messaged me on I need to message you back on Twitter, man. I apologize for the late that goes to everybody. Everybody that's messaged me, all that kind of stuff. You know how busy and hectic life is right now for me, so yeah, I appreciate your patience. Venom Jubear, I'm going to sneak in 2 questions because I'm the baby's godfather. Number 1, favorite soda. Number 2, what's your favorite song? And can you sing a little bit so I can make a little meme out of it, please? Also, I'm your dad from an alternate timeline. My favorite soda. God, I don't know. Lately, I've been drinking a lot of like vanilla Coke Zero. I don't know. I drink more Gatorade if I'm not having water or coffee. I'm usually having like a Gatorade or sweet tea. But my favorite soda, I would say, golly, maybe like... Well, now that I'm thinking about it, man. What is there's like a purple Mountain Dew that tastes like cotton candy that's delicious. That might be my all-time favorite. I haven't had that in years, though. They only release that around Halloween, don't they? Maybe not. I don't know. And what's your favorite song, and can you sing a little bit so I can make a little meme out of it, please? Oh, God, I don't have a favorite song. That's too difficult to pick, but let's, and I'm not gonna sing it. Against the Wind, Bob Seger might be up there. Oh.
Obi-Wan is hiding out with Jar Jar. Midway through, they get found out by the Empire, and Jar Jar sacrifices himself. Tears will be shed.
Sam Rowe, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. Against the Wind. How about? I'll just say it. Against the wind. A little something against the wind. Older now, but still running against the wind. Older now, but still running against the wind. Against the wind, still running against the wind. Run against the wind. Run against the wind. Alright, Venom. I appreciate it, man. We need to catch up. I saw that you, the guys told me you stepped down from Discord. I don't know the whole story behind any of it. I've been completely absent from everything lately, so. I appreciate you being cool, man. I appreciate you being cool, man. Sam Rowe, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. Idea for Kenobi. Obi-Wan is hiding out with Jar Jar Binks. Midway through, they get found out by the Empire, and Jar Jar sacrifices himself. Tears will be shed. So, I'm trying to think how... So, it would just be Obi-Wan and Jar Jar palling around for the entire movie, and then Jar Jar sacrifices himself, kind of like K2SO or something like that? I'm not on board with that, Sam. I mean, would this just be for everyone just to see Jar Jar die? Is that kind of what this would this movie would be completely about? Like, yeah, it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. But did you know that Jar Jar Binks died? I think that would be the whole thing of the movie. Would tears be shed? It depends, right? See, you know, it's kind of interesting. I've been doing this channel for like 7 years now. And over the past 7 years, I have heard so many people, and I think maybe it's just the generation that grew up with Jar Jar Binks, or grew up with the prequels at a younger year, or you know, much younger than me. I think they're growing up and now they have a voice, and they're like defending Jar Jar, and I'm like, this is fucking new. This is completely new. I'm not used to this, but it's kind of interesting, you know. And I think that's going to happen with this with the sequel trilogy. You know, a lot of people are shitting all over the sequel trilogies. I really enjoy them. The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. But I think I think they'll be praised a lot more than they are now in the future when the kids nowadays are old enough to have a voice. You know, that was a little tangent, Sam. But yeah. I appreciate that channel support, Sam. Despite the fact that in this movie Jar Jar would die, I'm gonna just say, if he's gonna be in the Kenobi movie, I don't want a Kenobi movie. But I appreciate it, man. The next question comes from Trevor Beast 45-4. Last month's Q&A, I asked if you could play my Star Wars first 3 lightsaber quiz on sport. Oh, I forgot about that. You said you'd probably play it after the stream, but I still don't know if you have gotten around to playing it. If you forgot, no worries. I did. I apologize. But you mentioned that it might be fun to play some Star Wars trivia quizzes on a live stream. I completely agree. I would love to create a list of fun, high-quality Star Wars Sporkle quizzes for that live stream. Some created by myself as well as ones from other Sporkle users. Would you be interested in that? And if so, how would you like me to send the select list to you? I'm assuming info@HelloGreedo.com would be the best method. Thanks, HD, and I hope you will grant this notion. You can send it there. Dude, I love the idea of doing that. like a live stream quiz show. I think that would be incredibly fun, even to get other people involved, like a call-in show, right? I could pull people into Discord one at a time, ask them a question, and I think that'd be really fun. Turning it into like a game show kind of thing. More interaction with you guys, you know? As much as I love that idea, I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do it. You guys know I was planning on doing this live stream last night, but I had to cancel it because my daughter was so fussy. So fussy. But yeah, if you put together a quiz, shoot it to my email. I'll bookmark it, and I think that would be a lot of fun to do something like that in the future, you know? A little quiz show. Yeah, it's kind of... Maybe that's a good idea. A couple nights ago, Trevor, I was thinking of doing these live streams that are just kind of like a hangout lounge, as in my brain, that's what I'm calling it. But it would be music like this with a very simple, basic, like, Starfield background. Maybe not even a chat, but it would be like... just like a midnight stream, middle of the night, hanging out. I'd have to be quiet because my baby would be sleeping, but I think that would be fun. And maybe that would be the perfect time to do these Sporkle quizzes. But yeah, I'll let you know. Feel free to send them whenever, man. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too sure when I'd be able to get around to it. I've just kind of like, I need to stop promising content and promising streams and promising all this stuff. Like I said, I promised to stream last night, but I just couldn't do it. So I decided to do it. I almost had to cancel it today too. I thought I was gonna have to cancel it, but alas, I'm here. Idea: remember in Star Trek Remake, JJ blended the old timeline with the new. Would it be a good idea to have some sort of event that gives validity to the Legends timeline? Yeah, didn't they do that with Rebels already, almost in a way? In a way, I thought maybe not. I like that. But I don't know. See, I haven't seen Rebels, but I guess they mess with time a little bit. I kind of like the idea of Legends and these stories being campfire tales. You know, you don't really know if they're true. Maybe they're true, but they're legends. They're myths, you know. But yeah. Next question comes from Luke. Eberhard. I feel like I butcher your name every time. One sec. Man, my throat. Hey, HG, a few years ago, I recall checking out a few Star Wars audio dramas, much like those old radio shows of an audio narrative. Only recently has this come back to me, and am currently looking into how many more Star Wars audio dramas out there. Interesting. Just to note, the dramas I checked out were adaptations of the Dark Force, sorry, I apologize for the burp. Dark Forces game/novels, as well as the sequel video game Jedi Knight. I was wondering if you've ever heard any of these audio dramas, or if not, would consider looking into reviewing them. Interesting. These aren't official? They're not official, right? Or maybe they are. I'll have to look into it. I didn't even know they were a thing, man. That's pretty neat. I'm sure eventually. Oh, one sec.
Excited but not super hyper, probably because of TLJ.
Hey, Lego Star Wars fan 77, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. Give me 1 sec. Luke, that sounds pretty neat. I don't know if I would review them, but I would love to listen to them. Let me type something out. Let me bookmark something. Dark Forces radio drama. Let's see. Dark Forces Collector's Trilogy audio drama. Wikipedia. The Collector's Trilogy audio drama was a dramatization written by John Whitman, adapted. Interesting. All right, bookmarked. I'll check it out. I'm always looking to listen to some shit when I'm doing some yard work, Luke. So I'll check it out. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do a review of them though, Luke. But yeah. Yeah, whenever I do yard work or go on runs and stuff like that, I only listen to podcasts. So I rarely listen to music anymore, which is weird. But yeah, I'll check it out, Luke. And Lego Star Wars fan 77, thank you so much for the super chat. How hyped were you for Solo? I was excited but not super hyped, probably because of TLJ. The Last Jedi didn't really factor into my hype whatsoever. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. The reason that my hype was kind of subdued for Solo was because, you know, a Han Solo movie never really interested me that much. These single character anthology films that I think we're gonna see more of in the future, they're not exactly what I'm looking forward to in the franchise. I really want new stuff. I really want new characters. So yeah, Solo I wasn't really that hyped for. Maybe a week before the movie came out, I started getting more hyped. Once like the behind the scenes footage started coming out, I was like, okay, this looks better than I was expecting. And so I went in with pretty subdued and low expectations. You know, I've said that I didn't really care for it, which is true, but I'd like to see, I don't know. I guess it was basically about what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. But overall, no, I wasn't that hyped for it, and TLJ didn't play any factor into it. It was just the fact that, you know, Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character, but I wasn't really excited for a film about him, interestingly enough. I really don't know. But yeah, Lego Star Wars fan, I appreciate the super chat. And I hope you're having a good day. The next question comes from Tan Sahin. Shit, I just minimized my screen. Let me pull that back up. Where'd he go? Tan Sahinkanat. I know I butchered your name, and it's probably Tan, right? Kind of like, is it Han or Han? Is it Tan or Tan? All right. Hey, Greedo, so under what circumstances do you think that you would stop watching and consuming Star Wars media? Maybe if the games and movies got consistently worse and repetitive? I've been asking the same question to myself a lot recently because Star Wars is a very important part of my life and trying to figure out how important it actually is. Alpha Q. Alpha Q, what's up, Alpha? I don't think there's anything that would make me step away from wanting to watch a movie. You know, it really takes nothing to watch a movie. Or even TV shows. The thing is, like, I don't know if I'll really get into the TV shows that much. The live action shows. But yeah, there's really not, even if the movies become consistently worse and worse and worse, even if it becomes more formulaic and repetitive, I'm still gonna watch it. The channel would probably I would probably become more of a negative presence in the fandom if that were the case, right? It's interesting because I got a lot of tweets yesterday from people saying HelloGreedo and among other YouTubers are a very positive force in the fandom. And I sit back and I appreciate that. But it's not like forced positivity. It's me actually liking something. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm positive. Oh. Hey, Bradfordly42, thank you so much for this. Good to see you, man. I appreciate that. One sec. Yeah, it was kind of interesting, like, positive force. Yeah, I appreciate that, but it's not forced positivity. It's just the fact that, A, I like being measured in my responses. I like, giving valid criticism, and I don't like being an asshole. And there's a lot of assholes out there now. And B, I actually enjoy the things that I'm saying that I enjoy. It's not forced positivity, you know? So, I would rather people say, here are the people in the fandom that aren't assholes. Not here are the people that are positive. But I guess it's kind of the same thing. Maybe not positive in terms of reviews and stuff, but maybe they mean positive in terms of character. I don't know. But yeah, Alpha Q, I appreciate the question, man. So yeah, there's really nothing that would stop me from consuming, I guess you could say. A movie comes out every year, twice a year. TV show will come out eventually. Yeah, even if I stop liking it, as much, I'll probably still watch it, you know. Bradfordly42, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I realize I've been taking a very long time. This is going to go a lot longer than I told my wife it would. Bradfordly, what's up, Greedo? Long time no see. One question. Any chance we'll be seeing you in Chicago next April? I have not figured that out yet. Tickets went on sale today, right? Oh yeah, so maybe you guys don't understand the question. The Star Wars Celebration is in Chicago next April. A little over a year, or a little less than a year away. Brad, I don't know if I'll go. At the moment, in my brain, I'm thinking I probably will. And the thing is, I would probably only want to go for one day. I enjoyed Celebration when I went. I only went for one day. One day to me is enough. I saw what I wanted to see. I saw a panel that I really enjoyed. It wasn't crowded panel at all. It was shit. What's his name? Damn it, that's gonna bother me. Not Donnie Yen. Chin? I can't remember. He's like a shit. I can't remember his name. It's gonna bother. I'll look it up later. But yeah, I enjoyed Star Wars Celebration, but a day is fine for me. I don't have a desire to go for 4 days. It just seems like too much. Too many lines. But at the moment, Brad, I'm gonna say maybe I would go for one day. I have a really good friend, one of the groomsmen of my wedding I've known since I was like 13 or 14, lives up in Chicago now, and we would probably just go to Celebration for one day, and then I would want him to show me around the city for the rest of the weekend, you know. But yeah, Brad, if this goes for anybody watching that is going to go to Celebration, if I do end up going, I'll let everybody know, and it'd be kind of cool to meet up, you know. But yeah, but I appreciate that, Brad. The next question comes from Paul Robinson. Hey, how's the whole daddy life going? Pretty good. I bet you're awesome at it. So now Solo is out and jam-packed with nods and references, which just fucked me right off, to be honest. So the big debate I've got into elsewhere is who should they make these films for? The fans or the family audience? I know my answer, but don't wish to sway your opinion. Also, still owe you a beer September. Ha ha ha. Love the HG family. I appreciate that, man. Being a dad is crazy. And it's yeah. And the thing is, I've only been a dad for 7 weeks now, but it's mind blowing, man. So, well, who should they make these films for? The writers should make the films for themselves. The directors should direct the films that they want to direct, right? I don't like the idea of any artist, any creator being kind of dictated by fandoms and groups. That to me is the epitome of stifling creativity. Like, when you try to adhere to what a certain subset of a certain subset wants out of a game or a TV show or a movie, then, you know, you're wearing handcuffs and you're not letting your creativity flow. So I know quote-unquote fans get pissed off whenever I say this. It's kind of funny, but I want the writers, directors, the artists to make the things that they want to make. Oh. Lego Star Wars fan 77, thanks you so much once again. One sec. So yeah, Paul, that's kind of my answer. Obviously, in a way, you're making them for the fans because people like Star Wars. There are Star Wars fans, and they're going to see the movies. But overall, man, I really do believe that in order for things to continue to be fresh and interesting and innovative, you need directors and writers and stuff like that to make the movies that they want to make and not feel hamstrung and handcuffed by expectations, right? And that's my honest opinion, really with anything. With video games, with books, with TV shows, with movies, with music. I mean, would we really have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band if the Beatles continued to make the music that everybody liked from them from the get-go? You know what I mean? Sometimes interesting things come about that are the opposite of what fans want or expect, you know. And Lego Star Wars fan 77, do you think Solo was released too soon after TLJ? What's up, Liam? One sec. Lego Star Wars fan. I don't think so. I don't think so in terms of what, like, box office, what's the word? I guess the dismal turnout at the box office. I think it was kind of an interesting test, right? to see how frequently they can put out a Star Wars movie, right? I mean, think about it now. Solo came out 6 months after TLJ, right? Now, after Solo, what, we got a year and a half until Episode 9 comes out. So there's a big, long break. A big, long break. Not that long, right? Not what we old fuckers in the Star Wars community are used to. But no, I'm gonna say no. I don't think it was released too soon. I don't think there is a too soon or a too long, anything like that. I think they're just gonna have to play with the overall, see what works. I think, you know, I think it was a good test for them to release something so quickly, just to see what people thought. But yeah, no, I don't think it was released too soon. I don't think so. But maybe, you know, because of the dismal box office showings, all that kind of stuff, maybe they will space them out more, and maybe that'll make a difference. Maybe that fatigue and that burnout is already starting to set in for some people. But for me, I don't think it was released too soon after TLJ. I'm fine with it. Yeah. The next question comes from Psychotic. Hey Greedo, I don't know if you've said this before, but what is the topic of the book you're writing? And does it have to do with Star Wars or something else? Just watched your Last Shot book review, and it inspired me to read an old Star Wars book that legit probably came out after Episode 4. The copyright is dated 1976, so this will be a fun read. Interesting. Good luck writing your book. I appreciate that, man. It is kind of the book. I'm not going to reveal the title of it yet. Until I already have the cover designed. I already have all that kind of stuff designed. When I reveal the title of the book is when I'm going to have a physical copy of the book in my hand, ready to show you guys. So basically, it's just about, there's a chapter of my origin story, why I love Star Wars, a chapter about clickbait and social media, my views on clickbait and all that stuff. Little things, tips and tricks and things that I don't think people should do when they start a YouTube channel. A chapter on the Navy, a chapter of being a dad. It's just kind of like whatever I felt like writing and writing a chapter on. Kind of like life, YouTube, nonsense, video games, movies, just everything, you know. There's really no method to the madness. But I've really enjoyed writing it, and I'm hoping to have it finished within the next couple months. And like, I'm trying to think. I'm hoping to have a Kindle version as well as a print version. Yeah. And I don't know how much. I haven't really looked into the Amazon side of it. Like, once you upload your book and all that kind of stuff, they do all the printing and the shipping and stuff like that. It's Amazon self-publishing, but you can also select the price that you want to sell it at. So if I was to sell it at like $12, I might make $2 off of the sale. If I was to sell it for $10, I might make $1.50. You know what I mean? You can kind of set your price point, and that is based, and then your percentage earned from that sale is based off of the price. I mean, like, I could put the book at $50. Nobody would want to buy it, but I would get like a $10 cut of the book, right? I'm not going to do that. But that's kind of how it works. I haven't really looked into it that deep yet. There's all these things that I want to look into, but as soon as I start looking into it, I sit back and go, you dumb shit. You haven't even finished the book yet. Finish the book and then look into this stuff, you dumb fuck. But yeah, I appreciate that, Psychotic. And trust me, man, I'll let you guys know when it's all done. I'm excited to get it out. I've really been enjoying writing recently. Like, my daughter will go to sleep, and I'll just pull out my laptop on the couch. I'll listen to music like you're listening to right now, just kind of ambient, spacey shit, and I'll just start letting my fingers fly. Orson Krennic asks, hey Greedo, thanks for all you do. I genuinely appreciate your collected, rational take on things Star Wars amidst all these social media drama. I've got a personal question for you, so no pressure to answer. How did you meet your wife, and what is your relationship with regards to Star Wars between you? Is she a Jedi junkie too, or she just make fun of laser? Cheers. I've known her for, golly, I've known her since I was 16, I think. So 16 years I've known her. A couple days ago was actually our 10-year dating anniversary, which is hard to believe. So yeah, I've met her in high school, and then we reconnected when I got out of boot camp, yeah, we've been married for 4 years, and have a baby, and been together for 10. Crazy, man. And no, I mean, like, she likes the movies, but nowhere near as, you know, she not like putting on the helmet, and doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty and the geeky bullshit like I do. But she gets it. But I appreciate it, Orson Krennic. Sounds like Blade Runner music, doesn't it? Yeah, I enjoy it. I like it. There's a couple channels that I subscribe to on YouTube. One's called, like, Chill Out Deer, like the animal deer, Chill Out Deer, and there's another one called Pulse 8, and they have this kind of, like, I don't even know, synthwave, is that a term? They have this kind of music that's just kind of like, you know, I enjoy working and making videos and writing whenever I listen to it. It's like productive music to me. The next question comes from Grant Descartes. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Hey Greedo, the Star Wars fatigue has hit me hard coming from someone who loved Star Wars. It's hard to believe. This, how cinematic universe really has had a bad effect on me. This new cinematic universe. Even though I liked 7 and 8, my question is, how do you deal with it? How do you not get tired of a brand, yet barely different Star Wars movie a brand new, yet barely different Star Wars movie every year now? Also, bonus question. Did you know about Godzilla King of the Monsters in 2019? No, I've never heard of that. And Godzilla vs. No, huh. No, I didn't know those were in production. I didn't know those were actually a thing whatsoever. No, I'm not curious. I'm probably not even going to see him, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I probably won't end up seeing those two movies. But yeah. How do I deal with a fatigue? It hasn't really hit me yet. I still enjoy talking about it. And the thing is, if it wasn't for this channel, if it wasn't for interacting with everybody, like, I feed off of you guys. My excitement and my passion is like, I feed it from you guys, and you guys feed it off of me. It's kind of symbiotic relationship. As who said that? Obi-Wan Kenobi, or was that Qui-Gon? I don't know. So yeah, the thing is, Grant, if you're experiencing the fatigue, I think a lot of it could be attributed to social media, marketing. Maybe you've just been like pounded with this shit for so long. Boom, 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 boom. Articles left and right. You follow everybody on Twitter. Everybody's constantly posting Star Wars stuff on Twitter. Blah, 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 blah. Just maybe like, just kind of step back for a few months, you know? Just kind of be. That's my best advice, man. I've been wanting to kind of do that recently. Eckert's Ladder, YouTube channel. He was off social media for a few days, I think, and doing a little reset. I might end up doing that, but yeah. Do we as fans need to learn how to disengage from time to time? I do. I could not agree with that more, Mothmeta. Could not agree with that more, you know. Next question comes from Matt Whitmore. Which would you say is the best format to get the original unaltered trilogy on, and what exact release? I'm kind of somewhere between the 1992 letterbox edition and the 1995 THX set widescreen version. I want to see the whole picture, or should I just stick to the two? Widescreen, no question, widescreen every time. Yeah, the full screen, like, whenever I see TBS or TNT showing Star Wars in full screen, I'm just like, what the you're cutting off like a quarter of the picture. Crazy. Honestly, the best format, if you're looking for the original unaltered trilogy and the best quality you possibly can get, you're gonna have to look for fan edits. Like, if you're looking for HD, best quality you possibly can get, an unofficial release, the despecialized editions are the way to go, in my opinion. I think the last best quality release widescreen that you can get, there was a DVD box set that was released that had both the special edition and the the unaltered. But I think the Laserdisc version might be the last best version. I think. God, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, 2006 limited editions. There you go. I would just, honestly, I would just stick with your 2006 limited editions. I don't think it's worth spending the money, unless you can find it dirt cheap on a VHS or something like that. I would say stick with your 2006 limited editions. Yeah, I would say that. And Max, despite all the special edition changes, despite all of that kind of stuff, I still prefer watching the official release Blu-ray, the official release with all the stupid-ass changes, than I do fan edits. I don't know why. I think it's just having the official release. It's I don't know. I would say, yeah, just stick with your 2006 limited editions. That's more than plenty. Favorite kind of cheese, Brad? Pepper jack cheese. The next question comes from Fifi. Fi-Fi? Gable. Hey there, HD. Did you see your little orange Radeon cousin in Solo? I had just turned 16 when I saw A New Hope. The unsullied version in the theaters in 1977. No, goddamn. You just said, yes, I'm old. I'm not calling you old. You called yourself old, fucker. I fell in love with Han Solo and wanted to take naps with him in his bunk on the Millennium Falcon. I had an entire fan fiction that I would tell my sister while we lay in our beds at night or out on cots under the stars. We used to do this while watching the Oh, nice. If you were to write your own fan fiction, what would you write about? Smugglers in the Outer Rim, Knights of Ni. Dude, that's awesome that you saw it in the theater. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty awesome. And the thing is, like, well, that's crazy. That's neat, man. I'm curious what you think of the new modern films after seeing the kind of the fan reaction in '77 compared to now, you know. No, if I was to make a fan fiction, if I was to write fan fiction, I would probably, like you said, not necessarily maybe smugglers, but that underworld interests me far more than like Jedi and stuff like that. Whenever I think of Star Wars, and maybe you think the same way, I think of the Cantina. I think of the kind of the underworld, the seedy underbelly of the Star Wars universe. That, to me, that used and abused thing is Star Wars to me. So yeah, if I was to make a fan fiction, I'd probably write it about, God, yeah, I don't know. Smugglers would be interesting, or maybe something like a maybe some kind of like Blade Runner kind of thing where you don't know if the person is, maybe something about these new modern droids that are indistinguishable from organics. I think that'd be interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, if I was to do a fan fiction, it wouldn't be about Jedi Knights or anything like that, or the Force. Probably not. It would be more of a Western type thing, you know. But yeah. Next question comes from Star Wars Media. My throat is on fire. Star Wars Media asks, hopefully all is well in Greedo household. With Star Wars Celebration 2019 on the radar, I am planning on attending. Are you going to make the trek up north? Also, out of curiosity, would you ever want to speak on a panel? It would be cool to have a HelloGreedo patron Discord meetup at Celebration. That would be awesome. As well, anyways, really enjoying your content. Stay cool, old man. You can call me old man. Everybody's. Yeah, that's fine. Terms of endearment. As I mentioned this earlier, I don't know if I'm going to end up going at the moment. I would love to go up there. If I ended up going, I'd probably just go for one day, and then I have a really good friend that lives up there, and I would just want him to show me around Chicago for the rest of the weekend. Going more than one day to Celebration, you know, I can see everything I really want in one day. The panels, the official panels and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's fun. I don't like waiting in lines. Some of the fan panels, the podcast panels, that is where my interest would lie the most, I think, because there would be more interaction, more fun, in my opinion. Fans being fans and talking about fan shit would be fun. Would I ever want to do a panel? Yeah, totally. I would love to do a panel at some point. Be a part of a panel. Yeah, that's a really good question, Star Wars Media. I'm gonna have to. I wonder how you get on panels. Put in a good word for me. But I appreciate the question, and if I end up going, man, I will put an all call out, and we can hang out or something. But we'll see. Rep Detect 26354. Thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. The silent support. I don't know if you meant to type a question in there or you wanted to be the silent supporter, but either way, I greatly appreciate that, man. 1138. The super chat was 1138. Clever son of a bitch. The next question comes from TK Alexander. Hey, Greedo, I hope you and... Oh, let me scroll down a little bit, make sure... Okay. Wow, we're actually making some progress here. Nice. Hey, Greedo, I hope you and your family and the family are doing wonderful. My question is, what are your thoughts on fans stating that Kathleen Kennedy should be fired for turning Star Wars into SJW propaganda? Thank you so much, and may the Force be with you. See, I don't see. It's weird to me, man. The whole SJW propaganda shit. I am very. Oh shit! Let me scroll in here. I'm very aware of that. That there's subsets of nonsense out there, right? Politically. If I felt there was some kind of like overt display of propaganda, more so than any other Disney movie. I mean, every Disney movie deals with like the same kind of themes, right? If I thought there was any kind of overt thing like that in the films, I would address it. I don't. I think people read into things far more than the writers and the authors intend them to be in there. Does that make sense? People have their own minds made up about what someone means, what the scene means, all that kind of stuff, and then they interject their own meaning into the meaning of the scene. Does that make sense whatsoever? I don't really buy it. To me, it feels more like opportunists with their own bias and agendas and political motivations complaining about something that I don't really see exists. And maybe they're talking about political statements that these people have made outside of the films. That's something I can't really comment on, and to tell you the truth, I don't give a fuck what anybody believes politically that's making a movie or writing a book. Why the fuck would I care? Why would I care what somebody says on Twitter that wrote a Star Wars book? Why would I give a shit what they think politically? If I cared about what everybody thought politically, and if I based my enjoyment of a thing based off of what somebody thought politically in the real world, you would never end up watching anything. You wouldn't like anything. You would disagree with the person in the real world, and you would never watch or read their shit. And what a dull existence you would have. I don't know. Interesting question, TK Alexander. I don't know if I answered it fully. Dude, I'm like burned out. I'm burned out. Like, I'm not burned out on Star Wars. I'm burned out on just like the asshole as shit. You look at some YouTube channels, man, and they just pump out a video a day with the same exact title, saying the same exact thing they'd said yesterday, and there's nothing new and inventive. It is the ultimate cash grab. It's weird. Opportunists, man. And it's like I said earlier, criticism 100%. I have criticism 100%. But I don't know. I play the YouTube game, right? I know what you're doing, you silly goose. I know what you're doing. Did you hear that sound? Maybe not. The music's a little too loud. Thank you so much to Jason96, J450N96. Thank you so much for becoming a fleet member, man. Welcome to the fleet. If everybody in the live stream could do me a favor, thanks for featuring my question, dude. I'll make it shorter. You're good. I appreciate it. I appreciate the passion, man. When I saw it, I was like, holy shit. But thank you so much for the fleet membership. Welcome to the fleet, man. Can everybody do me a favor in the chat and say, welcome to the fleet, Jason96, J45ON96. I appreciate that, man. Welcome to the fleet. The next question comes from Odin. Hello, HG. Who or what do you want a Star Wars story to be about the most? Ooh, here we... Oh, one second.
Wanted to say thank you. Felt kind of alone in the SW fandom. I welcome differing opinions, but it's always refreshing to hear some like-minded thinking.
Mickey Miles, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Give me one sec. I'm gonna answer Odin's question real quick. Odin said, "What? Who or what do you want a Star Wars story to be about the most?" See, Odin, my thing is I've always wanted Star Wars anthology films, let's say, to be about characters and events that have nothing to do with the characters and events that we're already familiar with. To me, the idea of rehashing characters and stories and blah 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 and tie-ins and stuff like that is not inventive, and it's not what I'm looking for in the Star Wars franchise. I want the Star Wars to progress. I want the franchise to progress and tell new tales, not rely on old material. That being said, I would love a Star Wars anthology film or a series of films about going way back in time, where the audience first sees the first people to discover the Force, as in a similar fashion to like the real world when people discovered gravity, let's say. I would love to go back in time and see the first people who kind of discovered the Force, discovered that they could bend it to their wills and wishes. Some people would want to like harbor it for their own personal gain. Some people would want to spread this knowledge out into the galaxy and democratize it, believing that everybody, you know, had a right to know about this shit. Some people would want to hide it because they thought it would be too powerful. But that's kind of my like ideal anthology film right now. It's something that's just kind of out there and different. And I would love one that kind of focused on, yeah, the way back, the discovery of the Force, let's say. Yeah. But I appreciate that question, Odin. And Mickey Miles, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Wanted to say thank you. Felt kind of alone in the Star Wars fandom. I welcome differing opinions, but it's always refreshing to hear some like-minded thinking. Well, I appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, it's yeah, sometimes it can feel like an island, right? I feel that sometimes as well. I'm in the minority when it comes to Solo. The majority of people really seem to really enjoy it. I thought it was alright. But I think it's not, yeah, it's good to hear like-minded opinions, but I like you said, I enjoy differing opinions as well. If they're measured, if they're not just angry for the sake of anger. I mean, dude, YouTube anger sells. Look at some of the videos out there right now that are basically like Alex Jones videos, where they are really nitpicking and really picking up just the most basic out of context bullshit and blowing it up into a 10 video series. They have so many views. And then positive videos that, and not necessarily positive videos, but videos that take an interesting point of view, or, and I'm not talking about myself here, I'm a dummy, but videos that are collective in their criticism. They are measured in their criticism, they make sense in their criticism, and they're not just Angry Man 123 at youtube.com. You know what I mean? They barely have any views compared to these we need it fired, I don't like Han Solo, I've been May 23rd, I'm boycotting Solo. May 24th, check out my Solo review, fuckers. But yeah, I appreciate that super chat, Mickey. The next question is a doozy, is a long one. Moth Meta. Hey Greedo, hope you and the family are doing well. Inference making and Star Wars have always gone hand in hand for me. Part of the reason I love this saga is because it allows me to wonder about events happening outside of the story. I don't think I'm alone here. Solo, the prequels, Rogue One, and a ton of other canon and non-canon stories are built out of the inferences we all make while watching the OT. Absolutely. My question is twofold. What detail / plot / line ideal from the OT or any other part of Star Wars would you like seen explored in an anthology movie or another medium? Same question, except what inferences do you hope they will never touch? Interesting. It's fun to think about and compare Star Wars inferences. The visual aesthetics of Kessel Run brought about interesting conversation between me and my brother. I always imagined it like the Grand Canyon. He always saw a street / drag race. I kind of always saw it that way as well, like your brother. Thanks for answering my question. P.S. Have you ever wondered why we use different kinds of screwdrivers? After moving into my new place, I began to wonder during the assembly of many things. Look out for my next video / report detailing this question. Why do we have different kinds of screws and screwdrivers? I don't know. Somebody's making a lot of money. So the one thing that I would actually like to see, I think, maybe not a movie, but maybe a TV series would be. I would love. God, the first thing that comes to mind is like a Jabba the Hutt gangster movie, where he's like the mob boss, and you have his henchmen. I think that'd be really interesting. Not necessarily a movie, but maybe a TV series. That might be my kind of. If I could pick one thing that, you know, we're familiar with already in the original trilogy to explore in a backstory, I would love. I think a Jabba the Hutt mobster kind of Godfather type movie would be fun, or a TV show rather. But something specifically mentioned, golly, I'll tell you the second part of the question. What do I hope they never would have touched? Before Solo, I would have said Solo, and I kind of still that's still kind of my answer. Like the Kessel Run, the Lando and Han's past. There's these certain things that in your brain you've built them up. And then you can only be disappointed, right? I'm not saying I was disappointed with those specific things, but there's certain like mysteries that are just kind of fun. And when you start poking and prodding them and exploring them, they kind of lose the mystery. When you watch the original trilogy, there's mystery behind it. Not everything needs an explanation or its own movie, right? I think the mystery behind Han Solo's past, his interactions with Lando, the Kessel Run, winning the Falcon, all that kind of stuff. The mystery of it is far more interesting to me than the answers that we receive. You know. But anyway, Mothman, I appreciate the question. And yeah, I'm kind of with your brother there. I always saw it as a drag race.
Cosmos and American in the used books at Goodwill the other day. You have rekindled my interest
Nice.
in reading. Can't wait for your book. Will you autograph?
Rep to Tech 26354. Thank you so much for the super chat 1138 once again, man. I greatly appreciate that. The Robot Reddit, and I'm going to read it too. Found copies of Cosmos and The Martian in the used books at Goodwill the other day. You have rekindled my interest in reading. Can't wait for your book. Will you autograph? Oh, one sec.
Kelly Tran deleted her IG because of harassment. How is it that certain channels can see? Everything Disney does wrong, but not this toxic fandom.
Grillo Sama, Grio Sama, I apologize if I'm butchering your name. Give me one sec, man. Rep to Tech. I want to say Rep. That's a tongue twister. It's been a long time since I've read Cosmos. That was one of the first. That might have been the first Carl Sagan book I ever read. And I really enjoyed Andy Weir's Martian. I want to read his. He has a new one out called Artemis, I think. I want to read that. But yeah, I wonder if they named the Kindle because it rekindles people's interest in reading. I am curious where this name came from. Probably not, right? Yeah, you guys don't know, I recently got a Kindle since my daughter was born. I've read 3 books on it in the past 7 weeks. I've never read this much consistently in my life. My interest in reading has been rekindled as well. Actually, well, I've read 2.5 books. Right now, I finished Last Shot, the Han Solo book. I've read a book called The Naturalist. That was just a free book that I absolutely loved. It's kind of like a, I don't know, murder mystery science book. And I'm currently reading John McCain's memoir, Restless Wave, which is really interesting. And will I autograph it? Yeah, absolutely. I don't really know how I would go about doing that. Maybe a meetup or something, but the thing is, Reptitech, I would upload it and sell it on Amazon, and Amazon has a self-publishing thing. So when I put the book up for sale, they handle the shipping, they handle the production, they handle everything. So I never actually see it. I'm just kind of like the artist, I guess. It's kind of like when you sell t-shirts on TeePublic or something like that. You know, you upload your design, they manufacture the t-shirts, they ship the t-shirts. So the Amazon self-publishing is kind of the same way. But yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to do that, Reptitech. I'll have to think long and hard about how I could do that. You might not want my autograph after you read it. You might not like the book. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I'm like, why do people want to know this? Oh, why do they? They're not going to want, they don't care what I thought about the Navy. But then I think about it, like, yeah, some kid, you know, somebody thinking about joining the Navy might really be interested. And one of their favorite YouTubers wearing a stupid-ass helmet, what he thought of the Navy, because they might be thinking about joining the Navy too. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is interesting to me, so it might interest other people. But yeah, I'll look into it, Reptitech. And Grillo Sama, and I know I butchered your name. I apologize. Kelly Marie Tran deleted her Instagram because of harassment. How is it that certain channels can see everything Disney does wrong, but not this toxic fandom? Yeah, I saw that this morning. It's a shame that I wish they wouldn't delete. I wish she didn't delete her Instagram. I think Daisy Ridley deleted her Instagram too. I wish they wouldn't do that. Ryan Johnson still has his. He just turned comments off. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they wouldn't delete it, but it's got to be like, it's got to take a toll, you know. When the loudest subset of the human population that sees your movie and comments on your shit, they're either, see, I have a hard time believing people are that big of assholes. And maybe it's just the way I justify it in my brain and try to smooth it out and make it make sense in my own head. I always kind of assume that when people are such fucking assholes, they're almost doing it as a troll just to get a rise out of people, and they think it's funny. You know what I mean? I don't know. Why can't certain channels see the pieces of shit in the fandom? Maybe it's willful ignorance, or maybe they have talked about it in the past and I'm just not familiar with it. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, Grillo. People on either side of the fence are complaining about the extremes of either side of the fence, right? And then the vast majority of the people are kind of somewhere in the middle. They're nice. They like talking about Star Wars. They're not dickheads. But it's just like politics. On the extreme side, and everything. Why is everything so political nowadays? God damn. On the extreme sides of the spectrums, you just have assholes that are just slinging monkey shit at one another. And then the vast majority of people in the middle are going, what? I don't know. The world is too weird. Sometimes we need to take a break up from the internet, and I think that's what a lot of people need to do, me included, right? But I appreciate that super chat, Grillo-sama, and I hope you're having a good one. It's just, I understand why she deleted it. It's probably easier just to kind of like bow out and say, fuck this, I don't need this in my life, right? At the same time, I wish, you know, do what Ryan Johnson did. Just turn off the comments and, you know, post pictures for people that, you know, post pictures that you're proud of. Fuck them. That's actually a large part of my book. The fuck 'em philosophy. The next question comes from Oliard. Hey HG, hope you're doing good. So simple question this time, since I can't think of anything right now. What would you call episode 9 if you could name it whatever you wanted to. Golly, that's gonna require more thought, brain power than I got at the moment. What do I want to call episode 9? Man. You know, in the past I said, and now, this isn't necessarily me wanting this, but I think it would be kind of fun to just tie everything together. You know, you have the first film ever was A New Hope, and I think the last film in this saga could be The Last Hope. But I don't think they're not going to do that, right? I think it would be a fun kind of tying everything together. I think it'd be really neat, but they're not going to go The Last Jedi, The Last Hope. I think that, you know, it'd be kind of silly. But dude, Ollie, I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of hope it's something to do. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to think about it, man. I'd have to think about it. I in a way, I kind of want it to be a name that infers this epic end times battle to be the end of all battles, you know what I mean? But I don't know exactly what you would call it. How about Battlefield Earth? Let's call it Battlefield Earth. The next question comes from Sully Hogs. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Was it you that asked this? Maybe it was like a year ago or so on a live stream. Somebody asked this. It wasn't that long. I don't think it was you. And I can't remember what that's a reference to. Is that a reference to Monty Python? Is that a reference to the Holy Grail? Maybe it is. What was it? I'm gonna look it up. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Let's see. 11 meters per second. Okay. Know your meme. Know your meme is pretty, yeah. Oh, I was looking at, I typed HelloGreedo in there the other day. Let's see. Know your meme. Or was it Know Your Meme or something? HelloGreedo. Oh no, it was the Han shot first. The Han shot first. Know Your Meme. Well, what is this? Is this what I was thinking of? No. Where did I see it? Damn it. Maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know. But some website was featuring one of my videos for their Han shot first thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I dig this music, man. Just love it. Alright, next question comes from Admiral Crust. Greetings, Papa Greedo. I have 2 important life questions for you. What do you think about the fan theory that Luke and Leia are actually Jar Jar's and Padme's kids? Bullshit. What? Oh, one second.
I really liked your canceled Star Wars games video. I never knew about plans for Force Unleashed 3. That game would have been epic.
Hey, Oswald1, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. One sec. Let me, since I started reading Admiral Crust's... You know what? I'm going to do Oswald1 first. How about that? I don't know if Admiral Crust is here. Oh.
Star Wars Episode 9, The Knights of Ren.
Vincent Curtis, thank you so much, man. So yeah, I'll do super chats first. Hey Greedo, I really like your canceled Star Wars game video. I appreciate that. I enjoyed. I stayed up relatively late last night writing all that and researching it. I was just curious myself. Whenever I make videos like that, it's because I am interested in the subject matter too. I want to know these things, and then it's just kind of fun to put a video together, you know. I never knew about plans for Force Unleashed 3. That game would have been epic. I apologize for blowing out your fucking eardrums. Yeah, I still haven't played Force Unleashed 2, man. Take it easy, Moth Meta. Good to see you, man. I haven't played Force Unleashed 2 yet. I installed it on Steam maybe a couple months ago in preparation to play it after I beat the first one on stream. I would love to play through that game on a live stream, beat it. Yeah, I've been wanting to do more games like that. Before my daughter was born, like 5 or so months before that, I was playing like Dark Forces, Force Unleashed, Star Wars: The Old Republic. What else? There was something else in there. I can't remember. But yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like those games that could have been. And a lot of them, you know, when a game doesn't really have any physical thing built or virtual thing built yet to model or anything, when it's just like early concept art, can you really consider it a canceled game? You know, when it was just kind of probably something that was pitched to the company and maybe there was some concept art stuff and they never really gave it a go-ahead to start production, can you really call it a canceled game? Yeah, it's interesting to think about. And Vincent Curtis, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Star Wars Episode 9, The Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren. I would like to see the Knights of Ren. I'm curious what they are doing, what they maybe they're dead, you know, maybe they were fighting for the First Order and they're all dead. Maybe Kylo killed them to keep power. Everybody assumes that the Knights of Ren needed to be explained or something like that in The Last Jedi. We don't know what happened to them. You know, everything that's mentioned in a movie does not need to be expounded on in the next movie. That's not how things work. That's not how stories work. Not every single little line of dialogue. Just because Han Solo said Coruscant or Kessel and Carillion and Wonder Fair and Square doesn't mean that we need to have movies about that stuff. We don't know what happened to the Knights of Ren. I hope there's a book about the Knights of Ren eventually. I'm curious about them. That doesn't mean that my curiosity wants me as a fan to dictate them being in a film if there's no place for them in a film, if the story yeah, you know what I mean. But Vincent Curtis, I want more. Yeah, I'm curious. I appreciate the super chat, man. I don't think they're gonna go with that as the title. I think the titles are generally more broad and more kind of a little more what's the word I'm looking for? A little more abstract than that. Knights of Ren is very specific. Granted, Empire Strikes Back is very specific too, but there's still some kind of vagueness in that, you know? Yeah. Next question comes from Admiral Crust. Greetings, Papa Greedo. I have 2 important life questions for you. What do you think about the fan theory that Luke and Leia are actually Jar Jar's and Padme's kids and not Anakin's? Also, is Jabba a huge caterpillar? And if so, will he ever turn into a big-ass butterfly? Oh, man. Why has nobody made a video about that? That sounds like a very fun video. I would love to do a video like that. Jabba the Hutt is a big caterpillar, and he's going to turn into a big-ass butterfly. I could do a leaked, I could do a Marvel comic review. A fake review about a fake Jabba the Hutt Marvel comic, a new one coming out, where Jabba turns into a butterfly. I'm getting my pen. I'm writing that down. Fake Jabba comic. Let me let my cat in real quick. Come here. Come in. Come on, Silly. Come on. It's okay. I think that would be hilarious. But, no. But no, Luke and Leia are not Jar Jars. Fucking with me. Alright, let my cat in to take a poop and pee. Hope she's alright. Door's been closed. Alright, the next question comes from Alex Kazanecki. Oh, let me see. I scroll down a little bit more. Nice. Only 5 more questions. Nice. I went like 45 minutes longer. I'm going an hour longer than I expected to. Alex Kazanecki, thank you so much for the question. Hey Greedo, congrats on being a dad. Well, thank you. After seeing Solo and with the movie having that cameo, do you think Lucasfilm will take notes from the MCU and make a shared universe for the proposed spin-off movies? They can bring in the crime syndicates, the underworld, bounty hunters, gangsters, and expand the universe more. It would be awesome if they could take the possible Boba Fett and Obi-Wan movies and tie them into this world. Bringing characters from Solo, Rogue One, and even Rebels, but only if they serve purpose and not fan service. My one concern is the poor box office performance of Solo. What are your thoughts? I like the idea. I don't necessarily want them in film form. Obviously, if they made them, I would go watch them. I'd be excited for them. Something like that with the crime syndicate, the expanding the universe, with the crime syndicate and all that kind of stuff. To me, I would rather read that kind of stuff. There's so much detail to be had and known in that seedy underworld, that underbelly with the crime syndicate and all that kind of stuff. I think I would rather read it. You could get more details and stuff like that in the book rather than just a 2-hour movie about a crime syndicate. I don't think they're going to go down that road, though. I really don't. Financially, it might make sense, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to go down that road. I don't know. The box office concerns, I've never been one to really care about them, to tell you the truth. I've never been one to, like... People say that Avatar is the best... Oh, one second. Come on, Max. Go ahead. There you go. I've heard people say that Avatar is the best movie of all time because it's, like, the biggest has the highest gross of any movie of all time. Okay, that's what we're gonna judge movies off of now, whether they were great in the box office or not. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be worried about the box office. It doesn't affect you. The money doesn't. It's not like you're seeing the money or not. I wouldn't worry about it, man. Star Wars crime series, dude. I would love a book. I would love a book like that, Yeah. Oh, man. The next question comes from Mark. What's up, Beck? Bradfordly 42. The VIP tickets went in 2 minutes. Really? Holy shit. Must reevaluate tactics for celebration. Yeah, I probably won't end up getting a ticket then, right? That's crazy. That's 2 minutes? That's crazy. Next question comes from Mark. Hey, Greedo, sad to hear that you were a little disappointed with Solo. Personally, I had a blast watching it, and while I agree that the movie went through a checklist, I still thought it was a really fun movie. So my question is, what could Solo have done better to make you like it more? As always, love the channel and your content. Let me take a sip of water real quick. My throat is like burning. I don't know how like radio talk show hosts do it. Their voice must, I don't know. I guess I gotta get used to it. I sound like a big fucking baby, don't I? See, Mark, the things that interest me the most in the Solo movie were things that we weren't familiar with. The very beginning when Han and Kira are palling around and they want to escape the streets and they're in that spaceport, that stuff really interested me because it was something new and fresh. And when the movie started going down the checklist and becoming more formulaic and kind of predictable, that's when it lost me. So I would have loved a Han Solo movie where he is in that kind of, what was that place called? Or was that? Oh, that was Corellia, right? Yeah, with the worm crime boss lady, whatever it was. That stuff really interested me, even though it was short-lived. So I think focusing more on that, the unknown aspects of Han Solo, would have interested me more. And yes, that would have been more risky. Probably wouldn't have gotten that big of a thumbs up from a lot of people. But it's not that it's not that I didn't like the movie. It's just not what I'm really, really thirsty for in the Star Wars franchise. You know, I'm thirsty for new characters, new scenarios. This is the first Star Wars movie that kind of felt like it was based off of a book, right? All the other Star Wars movies, you know, they're inventive. We don't really know what's going to happen. This one kind of felt like, okay, he meets Chewbacca. We know that. He meets Lando. We know that. He wins the Falcon in a card game, Sabacc. We know that. He does the Kessel Run. We know that. Lando owns the Falcon. We know. It just kind of felt like stuff we already knew that was built into a film, you know? And that's not really necessarily what I'm looking for in Star Wars movies, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. Just wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah. The next question comes from Tyler Bryant. My question. Let me scroll up a little bit. There we go. My question is, how would you rank the Disney movies from best to worst? I personally would go Rogue One, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. I haven't seen Solo, not sure if I want to. No, you should absolutely see Solo, Tyler. Absolutely. I think see it in the theater before it goes out of the theater. I think you would regret not seeing it in the theater. Absolutely. So from best to worst, man, it's tough for me to do because. Okay, how about this? Because I always flip The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I can't figure out which one I like more. I'm gonna go with The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, Solo, and then Rogue One. Rogue One is my least favorite Disney movie, or Disney Star Wars era movie so far. Yeah, so Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Solo, and Rogue One. Yeah. Yeah, but Tyler, absolutely go see it before it's out of the theater. I think you would regret it. Jack Evans, thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat. My brain isn't in it, Jack. My brain isn't in it. Jack Evans, what games would you like to stream? Just in general? I would love to stream. God. Well, there's a game called Postscriptum. I've talked about it before on these streams, and I've tweeted about it before. Postscriptum would be a lot of fun. I would love to join a clan, like a really organized Postscriptum group, because it is a game that requires teamwork, like more than any game I've ever played, probably, FPS-wise. Oh, one sec.
This is a spoiler from Solo. What I really hated about Solo was when the Imperial officer gave Han his last name. The Maul appearance didn't disappoint me as much as that scene.
Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. Give me one sec. But Jack, yeah, Postscriptum is one that I really want to stream because I think it would be fun to. I wouldn't be that engaged in the chat, the live stream chat, but it's a game that would be fun to play with people that kind of are very organized, and it would be. I think it would be fun for people to watch this organized kind of military exercise in a video game. Other than that, I've always thought it would be fun to stream Star Wars. What are those things? What are those fucking games called? Not ping pong. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? What you have the tilt and the what? I really can't think what these are called. What are they called? What the fuck? Some pinball. Dude, my brain, I need to eat something. My brain isn't working today again. There's Star Wars pinball, and I thought it would always be funny to play Star Wars pinball and just live stream with you guys. I think that'd be fun, because it's something that I wouldn't really have to focus on that much. It would just be kind of like, I don't know, just hitting a button and talking, you know? But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I really, really want to stream. You know, I enjoy streaming Battlefront and the Old Republic so much because they're kind of games that I can, especially Battlefront, I can just kind of like go through the motions in the game, and it's less about me playing the game and figuring out the game than it is about me hanging out with you guys, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably play Postscriptum once it comes out, once the full release comes out on the stream, at least once. But yeah, Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. This is a spoiler from Solo. What I really hated about Solo was when the Imperial officer gave Han his last name. The Maul appearance didn't disappoint me as much as that scene. It was yeah. It was like, it was an unnecessary thing. It just, I understand why they did it. I get it. My buddy, as soon as he got out of the theater, let me find what he texted me. He said, this is my friend texted me as soon as he got out of the theater. What's your last name? ... Oh, I don't have one. Oh, you're by yourself? Han Solo. Written by a 10-year-old. That's what he said, and made me laugh. Yeah, it's like, it just didn't, it's not, like little unnecessary things like that to explain unnecessary things that don't really need to be explained. His name's Han Solo, like, okay. Does that mean every single person that came up to this recruiter that didn't have somebody with them and was kind of an orphan and didn't have a last name and no ties to anybody else or a family, does that mean there's a Bill Solo? Does that mean there's a Tim Solo? Does that mean there's a John Solo or a Becky Solo? It is silly. I don't know. Just one of those completely unnecessary things, you know? I don't know. And the thing is, I can kind of differentiate the Han Solo from the original films and this Han Solo. You know, sometimes we have personal headcanon, and obviously it doesn't affect my enjoyment of this character whatsoever, but it's just one of those kind of like silly things that now in like some Star Wars trivia thing at a fucking bar, how did Han Solo get his last name? He showed up at the spaceport and somebody just fucking gave it to him. 10 points awarded to Team 2. Alright, the last question comes from Sam Austin. Hi Greedo, I have two very different questions. First question, is the poor performance of Solo at the box office a sign of things to come for the future of Star Wars? Will the downward trend in excitement and enjoyment continue? My other question is, what is your opinion on Jordan Peterson? I literally discovered him last night and his opinions seem intriguing. Hope everything's great with you. The box office... See, the box office... or not, I guess lack of success is something that I feel like should have been predicted. I think most people probably figured that, you know, this is a Star Wars movie that came out 6 months after the last one. This is the fourth one and since 2015. Yeah, it's kind of a natural progression for things to kind of start to die down. I think maybe people are just so used to Star Wars being this monumentous event every 10 years, right? And then boom, Star Wars, boom. That now they have to get used to some of these movies just kind of being, yeah, it's another Star Wars movie's coming out. So I think it's just kind of a mixture of A, fatigue, B, it's not, people are more interested in the saga films, without a doubt. They're more interested in the saga films. And C, overseas, they probably aren't as interested in a Han Solo movie as maybe we are, or the West is, potentially. I mean, you can look at a lot of movies like that in different markets around the world. Some movies just perform better. It's a cultural thing, I suppose. So there's a lot of factors, right? I don't know. And Jordan Peterson, I've only listened to him on, was it Joe Rogan's podcast? And he might have been on Sam, man, my brain is not working today, man. I listen to him all the time. What's his name? Sam Harris. Wow. I don't really know. It was a little over my head last time. He was talking about like archetypes in mythology and how they can be applied to the modern world or something like that. I'm not too familiar with him. I know he's a pretty contentious character in a lot of internet circles. But yeah, I don't really know too much about him. The little bit I've listened to was on other people's podcasts. I don't know if he has his own podcast or whatnot, but it had some pretty interesting points of view. Nothing that I can really remember now other than, like, he talked briefly about, like, was it Hercules? I don't know. I don't really know too much about him, but yeah. Always willing to listen to anybody. That's my thing. I see a lot of people, like, it goes a lot. It's kind of interesting, man. Even in the YouTube community, I have seen so many people in other videos that, like, these boycott solo videos, stuff like that, talking about HelloGreedo, talking about me, and attributing quotes to me that I never once said, opinions that I've never even held. So there's an entire subset of, like, the fandom or YouTube community or whatever you want to call it that has never seen one of my videos, has never heard my opinion of anything, but is taking other people's word for it and reading these misattributed quotes and opinions that I've never even voiced or had, but they assume that I do. So I'm curious if, like, Jordan Peterson and all these other personalities that get so much hate and stuff like that, if the people, if it's a similar thing, like, maybe people haven't really listened to them, and, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway. Alright, guys. My throat's on fire. I need more water. I need to go hold my baby daughter. I need to get going. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. This is probably the longest live Patreon supporter sponsor Q&A we've had so far. I got 30 questions in, not counting the super chats, not counting chit-chatting with you guys in the chat. But yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit. Let me go through the list. Psychotic. I didn't expect super chats this stream, but I appreciate it, guys. Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chat. Vincent Curtis, thank you so much for the super chat. Oswald1, thank you for the super chat. Grillo Sama, thank you for the super chat. Reptitech, 26354, thank you for the super chat. Mickey Miles, thank you for the super chat. Jason, 96, thank you so much for becoming the latest fleet member. Welcome to the fleet, my friend. Lego Star Wars fan 77, thank you for the super chat. Bradfordly 42, thank you for the super chat. Sam Rowe, thank you for the super chat. Vincent Curtis, once again, thank you for the super chat. Sully Hogs, thank you for the super chat. Welcome to the mod squad. Luke Fredericks, thank you for the super chat as well. Alright, guys, I gotta get going. Not a problem, Jason. Not a problem. I look forward to the next, I always look forward to these things, man. Yeah, no problem with the length of the question. The only reason is that, yeah, I'm going to have probably specified to keep it a little short next time, because I do kind of feel bad. Like, I've heard my daughter, my baby daughter, get fussy out there, and, like, I hate hearing that because I want to go out and help my wife with the screaming baby, you know what I mean? But, alright, guys, I'm going to get going. I appreciate you guys tuning in, as always. So, yeah, I uploaded a video today. I don't know if I'll have time to upload one tomorrow, but if I don't, I am going to probably do an hour stream of either... Well, I'll probably do an hour stream of Star Wars The Old Republic tomorrow to hang out with you guys. Maybe do some missions and stuff like that, but... Alright, keep kicking ass, guys. Be nice, be measured, and have fun. Catch you guys on the flip side. See ya.